Entrepreneur life requires risk, persistence, and a slightly unreasonable belief that this thing you're building is going to work.
And let's not forget copious amounts of caffeine.
Yes, that too.
Hey guys, I'm Allison, the Caffeinated entrepreneur, an AI-powered business strategist and systems builder with an energy level that should probably come with a warning label.
And I'm Bernie, the man behind the mustache. I'm a virtual events producer who makes sure the tech works, the delivery is clean, and nobody panics, including Allison.
Each week, we are picking up the conversation where my weekly newsletter leaves off. No teaching, no pretending we have it all figured out.
Just two entrepreneurs talking honestly about the highs and lows of growing our own businesses.
And why some ideas are worth sipping on a little bit longer. Welcome to the Caffeinated Entrepreneur. Let's go behind the brew. Hey guys, grab your favorite caffeinated beverage and join us as we go behind the brew of issue number 68, when comparison hijacks your brain. Hello, Mr. Bernie. What are you drinking out of today? I just saw it very briefly pop up on screen.
I had to go deep to the back of the cabinet. And so this was gifted to me years ago. I don't even remember by who, but it's a Simpsons beer can turned into a coffee mug. So it looks like I'm drinking, Duff beer from the Simpsons.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look forward and at the camera, and all of a sudden I see what looked like a beer mug come up, and I was like, I know he's not drinking beer right now. I mean, I guess technically that is a brew. So how, you are really, combining the brew theme here.
Yeah, I mean, it could be bourbon in here, and I'm
in your defense
just blowing.
Which we talked about last time. Just blow on it. No one knows. No one knows. Oh my gosh. Do you know what I'm not drinking out of today?
What are you not?
I'm drinking out of my CIA mug. But this past weekend, I went to the rodeo. I went to the stockyards. And I looked for a mug that I could bring back. They did not have anywhere a Longhorn mug.
I'm shocked.
Not a one. Not a one. I went into every shop. I bought a lot of really cute stuff. However, no. So I did get a mug though, and it is pretty cool. So next time we record, I'll use my new mug. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't. How did I miss
I feel
that?
like that should be standard at every shop there. Like it's the stockyard.
Yeah. How did they not have a Longhorn mug? It was very disappointing. Amazon, here we come. I'm just saying. Because I can get one. Though I did, there were so many Highland cows, so many cute little paintings of Highland cows. But I was like, no, that's not why we're here, Allison. But listen, we're moving into the process of renovating the new house. And I just have a feeling like Highland cows are going to pop up all over the place. And my husband's going to be like, I said you could decorate. I did not say with cows, but we'll see. But anyway.
Sorry, Joel.
Okay. It's all your fault, Bernie. I'm just going to blame you. It's all good. He can't get to you. All right. So anyway, today we are talking about a very human moment, right? When you see someone else win big, and then rather than, and we all have been in the comparison trap where it's like, oh no, I'm not good enough. What I'm doing isn't enough, whatever. No. We're not talking about that comparison trap today. We are talking about they're winning and I'm pissed. Because I'm working so hard and doing all the things and I've been at it longer. How come their launch was a success? How come they landed the big client? That's not fair. I'm mad about it. So it's like the not polished version of comparison trap that we're going to talk about today. So there's a backstory to this. But before I even get there, I want to know, have you ever seen someone else win? Just be real. I won't judge you. I mean, I might judge you, but I won't say that I'm judging you. Ever been mad about someone else winning?
Yeah, of course. There are plenty of people in over the course of my life that I have absolutely felt like I worked harder. I deserved it more. I did all of the right things, made the right, whatever. And somehow that jackwagon got what I was supposed to get. 100%. I felt that.
Yeah. I think, and I've never been in corporate, but I think this is a very common thing in corporate because someone else gets the promotion, someone else gets the shout out at the staff meeting, And I can say that from teaching. I mean, the competition within a department is very real. And when your kids get test scores that their kids didn't get, and then they get like the, hey, Teacher of the Year
That's
award, and
right.
you're like,
What?
what? Are you crazy? Just
Lawrence,
because they gave everyone an
Lawrence got
A?
it. Come on.
Right. So that's where I can say that for me, it was, a regular occurrence when somebody in the teaching world was getting a pat on the back, and I was like, I know what their tests look like, and I'm telling you, they are not rigorous like mine. So of course their kids look like they're doing better. I'll see you on the state exam.
And behind the bleachers,
But
right? I mean,
for real, for real. But so the reason that this has come up, and if you guys read the newsletter, you already know, I was in a mastermind session and my coach mentioned this Yap challenge thing on Instagram. And I was like, I don't even get on Instagram. LinkedIn is my profile, baby, right? And so she mentioned it and I was like, I want to go see what the heck the hype is all about. So I went to Instagram, opened the app, and I just typed Yap challenge into my little search bar. And a video came up of someone that I follow, who've been following for years. I've actually paid her money, right, to teach me things. She comes up on video and she's like, is anybody else sick of the Yap challenge? And she proceeds to ooze anger about the success that this other woman had. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Like, now I really want to know about this Yap challenge, right? So, of course, now I dig deeper. I find out who Jessie Jean is, the woman doing the Yap challenge. I found out all about her launch and how it was successful. And I actually discovered that she's really quite humble about the whole thing. And then she relaunched. And I was like, I kind of want to sign up for this thing. Well, then the other woman, the original woman, does another video. And she is apologizing for her reaction, like her public reaction, but she didn't apologize for the anger, right? Like it was this whole thing. And she basically said, I've been at it longer. I've been working harder, and it ticks me off that she's an overnight success. And I was like, unfollow. Like, I'm not interested in the negativity. And I was like, wow, I don't want to follow her anymore. And now I'm going to actually, like, it was what triggered me to go pay the other woman money to sign up for her Yap challenge. So I just found that to be fascinating that she was, and you could argue she was being vulnerable, but I didn't see vulnerability. I just saw straight up hatred. And it was very off-putting. So I don't know. It was a shock to me to have someone that I respected and I no longer respect them. And so I guess the question I have, and I'm still working through this, so I'm open to your thoughts. What is the difference between seeing somebody's success and thinking, ouch, that hurts, but I'm inspired to do better, versus, their success has now threatened me and I'm not going to take it sitting down?
Gosh, I don't know what that line is. I would have to imagine that it's somewhere in the realm of your own self-worth at the end of the day, right? Like how you view yourself versus the person that you're comparing it to. But I think some of it can be justified to a degree. Right? Like I know that I have put in the paces and done the things and made the right and not gotten it and felt very justified in my, I guess, reaction or my jealousy of the situation. But to your point, like if you don't know what it actually took to get there, then that jealousy, that feeling of I deserve it more than that person, like you don't know that. I don't know where that line is, honestly, Allison. That's a good question.
Yeah. I feel like there's something of like healthy competition,
course.
right? Like it spurs
Yeah.
me. Like I see someone who's been doing it not as long as I have and they've had success, and it spurs me to be like, okay, I'm going to analyze what they're doing. Doesn't mean I'm going to copy them or do what they're doing, but I'm like, what is it that they did and how can that affect me? And so this is like kind of rabbit hole, but not. Like literally had a coffee chat with a woman today, and she basically does what I do. She just doesn't do it in Notion, right? And so there was no animosity between the two of us. She works with bigger clients. She has an agency. She probably makes more money than I do, right? But it was like, that didn't make me mad. It made me just kind of be like, oh, well, all right. She's grown an agency. I'm just curious. What is it that she's doing? And is it something I want to pursue? You know what I mean? Like it spurred me. But what I found really hit funny, honestly, is that she doesn't want to niche down to a particular tool. And she's like, you've got Notion all over the place on your profile. Like, how's that working for you? And I thought, isn't that interesting? Like, she's technically a bigger business owner than I am. And yet she sees what I'm doing and having success with. And she's like, oh, tell me more. Why'd you make that decision? So I do think when you see someone else's success, if it spurs you on, that's awesome. It might still hurt. Spurs don't tickle.
Right.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like we kick the horse with a spur to make it go faster. So I think that there's a lesson there where someone else's success can feel painful, but if it makes you move faster and in the right direction, that's a good thing. But if it cuts deep and you're left licking your wounds, that's a problem. And I think to your point, it's a little bit different for everybody as to what that exact thing is going to be for them. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
mean, I think a lot of it is too in how we're raised and how we look at those type of situations and challenges, and obviously it's learned behavior as well. But like, there's a school of thought where people believe that if you vividly imagine something, it is the same as actually doing it, right? So if
Mhm.
instead of getting jealous over that person's success, you simply insert yourself in that success, you imagine you are experiencing that success the same as they are. And that then begins to train your brain not to be jealous of them, but saying that you are worthy of that success, that it's okay that they got it, but you are also experiencing that success as well. So it removes the jealousy, but it gives you that
Yeah.
blueprint, if you will, right? You're training your brain to think, I am successful. I do deserve that thing.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm just gonna be honest, my brain goes in a very different direction. So for me, my brain, and I can tell you with certainty that this happened to the woman that I was following and then unfollowed. Her brain and our brains tend to make up stories about how easy it was for someone else to be successful, right? Well, clearly they had resources I didn't have. Clearly they had, whatever. And yes, that all may be true. I think we all nobody is starting at the same spot. We all are coming in with different strengths personally, but different resources, all the things, right? Um, but I think we tend to fill in the gaps with things that make it feel like they're not worthy of their success, right? Like, so where you're talking about is like, use your brain to make you understand that you are worthy of the success that you've experienced or more success. Where I feel like my brain, and I know, just to be vulnerable and transparent, my brain tends to be like, they don't deserve that. And here's why. And I start filling in all the gaps. Like, perfect example, this woman, Jessie Jean, she constantly is talking about how she's doing this for her son. And she's very thankful for all of the people who invested with her because she can give her son a better life. And I'm thinking, you only have one kid, dude. I got 5. Right? Like, I deserve success more than I'm not really thinking that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be like, why do you get to have that with one kid? I've got 5 kids I got to take care of. Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is my brain will go there more often than not, where it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that makes
I mean,
sense.
it
But
it does make sense, and I think a lot of us do that to a degree, right? We look at it, and I don't want to use this term because I don't feel like it's necessarily applicable, but like you almost revert to a victim's mentality, right? Looking at it and
yeah,
why don't I get that? I clearly deserve it
yeah,
more, or I have
yep,
XYZ. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And here's where it gets even worse for me because then I'm like, why don't I get an easy
right.
button? I want an easy button. I want a shortcut. And then I have to think about it because even if I just look at how much my business has grown and changed in the last 2 years, I think there are people that would argue that AI is the easy button. Well, she's selling AI. Of course, people show up to her webinars. It's AI. Who doesn't want to learn AI, right? And there's an easy button for me. I work my butt off to get people in seats in my webinars. I am in the DMs, I'm in the emails, I'm all over social media. Like, oh my gosh, I work hard to get people in seats. But I could see other people thinking, oh, she's got an easy button. And then I'm like, I wish I had an easy button, friends. I wish.
Well, what's really interesting, and I think that you should take this as a huge compliment, is that you make it look easy. That's like that's one of those things, right? A little perspective shift is, they probably do come in and they're like, she's probably got an easy button. She's probably got a whole team. She got $100,000 doing this. You and I know that's not the case.
No.
Right? But that says something to the work that you've put in and the determination and the desire to make it a really, really good system for you. People look at it like she's making it look really easy.
Yeah. And in truth, it's just that the system has made it
Mhm.
easy, right? I work
Mhm.
very hard, but so it's funny because I'm doing consulting for another woman right now. She's a ClickUp girl, not Notion, and it's like, okay, I'll work with you, but like, I'm not implementing in ClickUp. So we just consult, I mean, whatevs. But we literally did a webinar funnel for her. And she was so funny because I had her set up the system and go through it. And she's like, I never would have gotten all this done in 2 weeks had it not been for your system. And I'm like, right? Like, this is so fun when you have a system. Easy button, but not really, but it looks like
Mhm.
it.
For sure.
So
And,
thank you. That is a good
and
perspective.
what's kind of messed up too, though, I have to say this as well, is that we as human beings are like hardwired to find the easy button. Most
Mm,
inventions are because someone wanted to be lazy,
That's so
right?
true.
Like we are hardwired for it, and we are looking for that easy button. Oh, it looks that they make that look easy. I want that thing, right?
hmm
So,
hmm Total side note, Joel, when he ran his tool truck, he didn't have an easy button, but next to his computer, he had a no button. And when he hit it, it would say no in all these different funny ways because guys would be like, can I get a discount on that? Boom. No. Like,
it's
so
awesome.
funny. All right. Well, shifting gears because I, want to stay on this whole ick feeling that I got. When do you think it makes sense to maybe be open and vulnerable with your audience about something you're going through? And when is it dangerous to take private feelings and make them public? Because I would argue that this particular woman that I was following, that I'm no longer following, um, it did not work out well for her, at least for me. And I can imagine I'm not the only one that felt that way. Um, I don't know. Is what makes it dangerous where it's like, no, I'm being vulnerable versus no, I'm being
Yeah.
ugly.
Again, I mean, I think it's a fine line because there are certainly people who gravitate towards the extremes. While it absolutely pushed you away, there were probably some folks who were like, yeah, I can't believe that she's
Yeah.
winning like this too. So, I think that's a thing, unfortunately.
Well, and I think what makes it, I don't know. I guess when I just kind of evaluate the situation that I was in, what made it dangerous wasn't her first video where she was like, oh my gosh, is anyone else just sick of it? Like that video I watched and I was like, oh, I want to go check out more about this. It was the second video where she had like a quasi
Right.
apology. And I'm not suggesting that the apology wasn't real and that she didn't genuinely regret putting out the first video. But it was like, then she sort of undid her own apology with her reasoning for validating her
Yeah.
anger. And I was like, that was what kind of made it where I was like, you know what, if you had just come on and been like, listen, my temper got the best of me and that was inappropriate. I shouldn't have said those things. I am sure she has worked her butt off and is not an overnight success. And I just don't know the full story. But, whatever, like that would have been different. But it was more like she justified her anger. And that was what I was like,
Yeah.
now I'm
Yeah.
done.
Well, I mean, I think there's always some context there. Like there are some people who they can go completely off the
Mhm.
rails, and it's great for them. It draws more
Mm,
people to them. It is what it is. And then there are other folks where, like this lady, she went kind of off the rails and it completely pushed people away. So saying,
mhm,
there is this line where if you do this much or say this much, it's too much, or that's it's too much this way. Like,
mhm.
I don't know. I think it's all going to be contextual to the person and to what their brand and image is, right? Like if a
Yeah.
Joe Rogan were to go off the rails about something, right?
Yeah.
Like that would be a different story than what she did.
I think you just hit the nail on
Did
the
I, did
head
I just give you
without even
another
meaning
clip?
to. No, but I think you did because what clicked just now, you're absolutely right. There are people like a Joe Rogan or like some of these political commentaries, you expect them to, I wouldn't say spew hatred, but you expect them to take a passionate position and vehemently, rah, right? And it's okay. It's why you follow them or it's why you listen to them. I think what got me was it was so out of
Yeah.
character for this
Hmm.
woman that I had been following for years. And it was almost as if I saw the skeletons in her closet and I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And again, maybe I'm still not giving her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe unfollowing her was too quick. You know what? There's more. Similar to what she seems to have done to this woman, Jessie Jean, I could now be doing to her. But at the same time, I wasn't a ride or die for her anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. So it didn't hurt me to unfollow her and it didn't take much, maybe. But I think you nailed it. It was super unexpected and shocked me in a very
Yeah.
negative way. And maybe nobody else. Maybe I'm like literally the only person who unfollowed her. I don't know.
Maybe, but
Um,
I think that there is something there, right? Like if you have a certain expectation about an individual or a brand or the way that they generally
yeah,
interact with the public or you, and it's
yeah,
completely the opposite direction, there is likely to be some type of an effect. It may be positive. It in this case was not, right?
yeah. Gosh, you did. You killed it, Bernie. Ugh, you and your
Yeah,
dang
no, well,
insights.
I'm operating on
Can't
about two and a
even.
half hours of sleep, so I mean, like,
So I'm going to get angry about your insightful success, Bernie.
yeah,
Had
but
it.
what you
I
don't
can't
know
even
is
get
my
angry with
tiny
him, y'all.
terrorist dictator forces me to stay awake at all hours of the night watching Bluey and Spidey.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But well, here's the kicker. It's like I literally invited you to be my co-host, and of all the people I could have chosen, I chose you and invited you because I was like, Bernie's like so good because he's the opposite of me. And he like so you have all these insights that I don't have for a reason. So no, I love it. I love it. All right. So then let's go here next because I think that truth be told, any of us can fall into this version of the comparison trap where we get angry, right? And where we might share a little too openly. So what is the evidence or the red flags or the signs that we need to look for where we need to decide? And because you and I are used to being vulnerable and talking about things that a lot of people won't say online. Um, how do you know when it's like, that's probably something you should keep close to your chest? Like that's an inside head thought. Maybe
Yeah,
we don't
go
share
say
that
that one
one
out loud.
outside.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think anytime anger is the emotion driving,
Mm.
what you're thinking about doing, you should probably take a pause and think about the consequences of your potential actions. Um, you
Yeah.
know,
Unless angry is your
unless angry
brand,
is your
y'all.
brand. That's
Unless
right,
angry is your
right? Rush
brand.
Limbaugh, dude was angry all the time. Just you always expected it.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I would say, kind of circling back though to your point, if whatever you want to share is out of character from what you normally share, I think the second thing is, and this is something that I've always thought was a good rule of thumb, never share what you're going through while you're going through it. Like you can process and share reflectively after the emotion has passed. So I think personally, if this woman who was angry about Jessie Jean and the Yap Challenge and the success had instead internalized it, processed it on her own, and then came out a month from now and said, hey, when that happened, let me just tell you, I was pretty ticked because, and she gave her reasons, and then she could say, and now, blah, 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 right? And then she had conveyed the same information, but the level of emotion was more even toned because it was after the fact. I think it would have been delivered very differently. It would have been like she was showing me a little behind the scenes as to what's going on in her head as a business owner, but it wouldn't have necessarily icked me out.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
absolutely. I mean, it's what's the old saying? Someone shows you their true colors, you believe them, right? She didn't really think the impact of what expressing those emotions in the time, really were going to be. But then when you think like that was her natural response in an emotional state to what she was experiencing, and you, me, and so much of the people out there at this point, we value authenticity and being genuine. Like if in your emotional moment, we all have them from time to time, your natural response is to lash out angrily and tear somebody else down. I don't know if that's somebody I'd want to work with.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. And I think that the best thing, this will go back to our core 4 episode that we talked about, like having people in your world. I think it's really important to have a safe person so that you can literally like I've done it to you. I've been in your LinkedIn DMs on a voice message and been like, I just had a webinar and somebody interrupted me and this is what they said. And I'm so mad about it. Like, you need somebody that you can vent those frustrations and those angry thoughts and whatever to, because we all have them. And I think that it's just a straight up lie to act like we don't have them. We get angry. I think it's, like you said, it's really important to be able to just get that out, but get it out to the right person who can either just be like, yeah, I get you. That was rough. Or it could be like, whoa, you're overreacting. Tone it down, friend. Tone it down.
For sure.
Maybe don't say that right back to me next time, Bernie. Like,
you're an 11. I need
give me a hot minute. Like, my husband's learned that. He's like, I'm just going to offer her a hug and some coffee right now. We'll regroup about her emotional reaction later. Imagine that. I get overly emotional. I'm sure you're shocked. All right. So if somebody did come to you, like me, and was like spiraling in anger over something that, truth be told, they had no business being angry about, like the emotional reaction or whatever, but in the long term, they had to like let it go. That's not really your bag, baby. How would you reframe it, Mr. Insight?
I think the first step is letting them get the venom out, right? Just to go ahead and say whatever's on your mind, whatever it is that you think right now that's causing you this emotion, just get it out. If they are truly wrong, you have to tell them that you're wrong in feeling that way, and this is why, right? Maybe this is the way to look at what's happening. Did you think about X, Y, and Z? Like, I think you if you're coaching someone, if you're being that sounding board for them, you have to give them the shift in perspective, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. It's like truth in love,
absolutely.
right? Like, I'm going to speak truth to you, but I'm going to do it in a way
That's
that
right.
loves you.
I mean,
I
like
love
Allison,
you.
we wouldn't be very good friends if I didn't stop and say, "Hey, you need." I'm not going to use any examples here. You need to look at it a little bit differently. Like if I didn't do that, then I would be letting you go out and ruin your brand. Or
But this is the last episode Bernie will be my co-host on, everyone. Next week, it'll be
Solo
officially
episode.
a single person podcast.
Be careful about who you choose to bring on your podcast.
No, I totally agree with you. I think that is it. You need someone to say the hard things that you don't want to hear. And they also need to be the kind of person that understands when to say those hard things. And sometimes, I mean, let's face it, sometimes you need the slap across the face to calm you down. Like, you need the ice water dumped over your head, and it's like, you need to just get control. And sometimes you need to let someone, like you said, get the venom out, like let it run its course, let them like whoosh, out, and then they'll be okay. And knowing which of those two is the most appropriate. But anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and land this plane today. Why don't you? I'm going to let you on 2.5 hours of sleep,
man.
Bertie. Good
All
luck.
right.
Maybe I'll let you stay on as a co-host if you
I
can
can
do
land
this
one. All right. Let's see. So I think comparison is one of those things that can make you feel like a terrible person, right? If you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. But really, I mean, it just makes you human. Sometimes we're tired, sometimes we're ambitious, sometimes it means that we're not seeing the whole story. Someone else's
Mhm.
win doesn't necessarily erase your work or the things that you're doing. Maybe there's evidence all over that you've done the right things, and it's just not the right like time. But I think the more honest that we can be about those moments, the faster that we can stop letting the internet maybe write a fake report card for our business. Right? Stop looking at things as everyone is better than me, but instead, what can we learn from those folks perhaps? And what's the best approach to
Mhm.
voicing your opinion? Um, yeah, I got lost in the sauce again, Allison. I think I just lost my job.
I think you just
Did
killed
I?
it though. I think ultimately you did. You just nailed it. So we're gonna let that little mess there at the
Just
end
leave
be
it.
the
Let it
vulnerable
run.
part of us. So guys, thanks for listening. Remember, keep showing up, keep taking the next step because the caffeine is strong.
And so are you.
And Bernie's gonna go have another cup.
Another cup of coffee right now.